for joining me in my stamping studio. Here's what we're making today, this absolutely adorable little popcorn box with puppy chow snack in it. So let me show you what you need to make this. We're starting out with a half a sheet of Melon Mambo cardstock. So this is 5.5 by 8.5. And then a scrap of Melon Mambo, a scrap of Whisper White, a scrap of Basic Black, and then a 1 by 3 by 3.5 inch piece of the Pop of Pink Designer Series paper. Okay, we are going to be using the popcorn box thinlet, and to make the box itself we're going to start out with this piece, and then for this scallop edge we're using this piece. So let me grab my Big Shot and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so I have the magnetic platform and an acrylic sheet, and with this half a sheet of cardstock we can get the whole box on here. You want to get this right up to the edge. And this die will cut and score it at the same time. All right, so we've got it here. This pops out, and we need 2 of this piece. So then I'm going to take and flip the cardstock over, get this right up to the edge, and you can see how that does just fit. And let's get this back on here. Oops, come on. There we go. Okay, so now we have 2 pieces like this, and to get that scallop edge, I have found that I can run 2 of these through at once to get that scallop. When I first took this out of the thing, I thought possibly this was bent, but it's not. If you notice here, this has a, I don't know, kind of a peak to it, and this is made to fit on there exactly. All right, so we've got that, this on here, and I'm going to run this through twice. Just back and forth, not actually twice. We're not making 2 of them. Okay. Let's get this out of the way. Okay. So there we have 2 of the popcorn box pieces. Then I'm using the coordinating stamp set Ready to Pop, and we are using this image here, and then for the tag that's going to go on here we will be using this and this. This stamp set and the popcorn box thinlet are sold together in a bundle, which will save you 10%. Now I'm using the Memento ink, and I'll get this stamped up, and I'm going to stamp on every other one of these scallops. So just lining this up and stamp. So obviously there are so many different ways that you could possibly decorate this box. I just knew I wanted to use the Pop of Pink Designer Series paper, so that's why I went with the Melon Mambo and black for everything on it. So we've got that. I'll do the exact same thing on the other. This die is awesome because of the fact that it's not real big, so you can get 1 whole box out of a half a sheet of cardstock, so that's pretty darn economical. And then the fact that it's not real big, you don't have to fill it with a ton of treats, so many different things could go in here. All right, we've got that part done. I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. Next, I want to take my bone folder, and I want to fold this on every one of these score lines and get a nice crisp fold. Well, that would help if I line it up. Okay, so we're going to fold it there, right on this tiny little edge. Fold these bottom flaps up Now on this flap, there is a second little part that comes down here. Okay, do the same thing with the other one. That's done. I'm going to take the tear and tape, and this, if I turn it back over to the right side, on the tiny little flaps on each one, that's where we're putting the adhesive. Like that. Do the same thing to the other one. Okay, so once those are on, then you want to flip it around. Boy, I'm having a hard time with that paper. You want to flip it around to this back side, and this little tab here on each of them is another spot that you want the tear and tape. So just a little bit on the back side of each of those. Okay, so now the assembly, and honestly, the hardest part about that is getting the backing off the tear and tape. It's not hard, but with my tiny little fingernails, sometimes getting this off is a beast. Okay, so I'm taking one of them off, and then what I want to do with the other one is just line this up on top of it. Okay, and what I'm looking at lining up is this part here. Now, if you notice right here, it doesn't line up. And that's okay. That's where your little paper snips are going to come in handy, and you're just going to trim that off so that it does match. Okay, so we have this. Now to make it into a box, again, I want to take off the backing. Come on. Okay. To connect this together, the way that it works best is if you flip this over, and then, so here's the sticky, and then flip this over. It's lined up just right, all right? And again, got just a little extra here. We're going to trim that. Okay. All right, we are almost finished. For this part, remember where we put this adhesive here. You're going to fold in the other flaps first, and then this part that does not have the adhesive on it is going to tuck underneath. And then the same thing here, tuck underneath. So now you just want to grab those two tabs where you've got that adhesive. Okay, keep those up. Pull the backing off of those. Here's one. Come on. And there's the other one, okay? So we have it here. That is just going to get stuck down. And then if you put your fingers in here, you can get the rest of it. All right, so our little box is done. Now we're going to do the embellishment part on it. And that would be this here. So first of all, I'm going to use the 1 3/4 inch circle punch and that scrap of basic black cardstock. Set that one aside. Then, with the Whisper White piece, I am using this little swirl from the Ready to Pop stamp set and Melon Mambo ink. And then I'm going to use the 1 1/2 inch circle punch to punch this out. Okay. And one more, the scrap of Melon Mambo, basic, or not basic black, Memento ink, and I want to get this stamped up really well. Okay. All right, so this is the Enjoy and the 1 inch circle punch. Okay. All of our stamping is done. We are ready to assemble this. And we're going to start out with the dotted image adhesive on the back side. Layer that on the black. Then we're going to a dimensional on the back side of the Melon Mambo that says Enjoy. And then with the pop of pink designer paper, I just want to turn this into a little banner. So I'm going to snip in the middle from corner to the middle on each. All right, so snip it in the middle from the corner to the middle and the corner to the middle. So that's how we make that little banner. So here in the middle of this, we get some adhesive. Stick that on. Some adhesive on the back of that. Our little box is complete, except for putting our little snack in there. These are our cello gusseted bags, and I filled this with a snack called Puppy Chow. If you want to go to my blog, stampinstudio.com, I'll post the recipe there. So is this not adorable? It stands, what is it, about 3.5 inches tall. So darn adorable for any kind of little party. So I hope you enjoyed your visit today, and I'd love to have you come back another time. Thanks and happy stamping.